And then an email arrives to break the stalemate. I turn my attention away from Suzaha. This ringtone is starting to piss me off. It's most likely from the male demon Shining Finger. I can tell without even checking. This is getting ridiculous. She's got some stalker qualities and maybe split personalities. I shouldn't have given her my address. I look at Suza and see her lying on the counter. She's playing with something in the palm of her hand. Probably her phone. Looks like a small metal pen. Never mind. Anyway, how can she be this lazy on her second day? I love CRTs was a lie too, wasn't it?
Huh?
She was just wondering if I got a death notice. How can she say that without a straight face? With a straight face. The hell is a death notice anyway? Do these even exist? The fuck's a death notice? Who gets a notice that you're dead or about to die? This girl's hard to get a handle on. I really shouldn't let my guard down around her. Susa leaps up as soon as I speak. Oh great, another girl that's obsessed with this shit. Good God. Why can I not find any normal girls? Maybe that retro PC is more popular with female otaku than I thought.
IBN5100 を実際に探し回ってみたが、結局空き場にはなかったというオチは知っている。
そっか、そりゃそうだよね。
何か知っている口ぶりだな。
いや、知ってるような知ってないようなって感じかな。私は知らないけど、遠い知り合いが知ってて、それをちらっと聞いたことがあるみたいな。
That's a nice nervous laugh. Another insincere smile. I'm starting to think she's not a very good liar. You can tell she's lying whenever she smiles like that. That laugh gave away that she was lying. Fuck the smile, the laugh itself was. Sure enough, she doesn't offer any other information. She keeps that insecure smile plastered on her face. See, that's why you never smile. Because at all times I just keep a really neutral face, which is why I'm great at lying. So whenever I'm happy, I have a neutral face. Whenever I'm sad, I have a neutral face. And so no one can tell if I'm ever telling the truth or lying. So they assume I automatically am just telling the truth. Because I don't change my facial expressions from telling the truth to a lie. And usually my voice stays the same as well. So that's how I can easily lie, or bluff in this case. Did I read that? Sure enough, she doesn't offer. Oh yeah, I saw that. Okay. Suzuha falls back onto the counter with a deep sigh. She looks up at me with that position. From that position, she seems extremely suspicious to me. And she's an extremely suspicious character. And I'd keep her at arm's length.
IBN5100 についてのさ、興味深い情報教えてあげようと思ったのにな。そんな目で見られたら教える気なくなっちゃった。
You're a very fishy little girl, even though I think you're 18.
IBN5100 になど興味はない。
I'm more concerned with CERN right now. Solving one of Akiba's mysteries won't topple the organization's regime after all.
貴様を信用できる要素が一つもない。その面白い情報が真実であるかどうかもわからない。
うわ、そこまで言う？確かに私、
Yeah,
不審だけどね。
kinda.
じゃあさ、教えないけどヒントだけあげるよ。そんで分かりそうで分からないもどかしさに身もだえちゃえ。実は IBN5100 には隠された機能があるんだよ。
A hidden function. That reminds me, I'm pretty sure that John Teeter from 2000 said something like that. Yeah, he said it can write a special code or something. I do believe. I searched through my memories.
確か IBN5100 には独自のプログラミング言語がどうたらこうたら。
嘘、なんで知ってんの？なんで？
I'm not telling you, I have my sources. I only vaguely remember, but it looks like I hit the mark. I grin.
能力名サイズハング。俺は貴様の心の内を読み取ることができるのだ。
Jesus Christ, dude.
何それ？反則。
I don't care if it's fair. For some reason, Suzuha covers her face with both her hands. She opens her fingers just enough to peek at me. Oh my god, how young is she acting? That's not enough to escape my power.
全てはお見通しだ。アマネスズハ。観念するがいい。
とにかく IBN5100 には隠された機能があるの。 AP エリアベーシックが普及する前に書かれた IBN の独自のプログラミング言語も解読できちゃうのってさ、驚愕だと思わない？
For short for beginner's all-purpose symbolic instruction code, a beginner's programming language frequently used in the 70s. Short for a programming language introduced in 1964. Now I remember, John Teeter said the same thing in 2000, and right after that, an IBM engineer officially admitted to that function's existence.
今や IBN5100 でしか解読できない失われたプログラミング言語があったりするんだよ。
The reason John Teeter traveled to 1975 to obtain an IBM 5100 was because he needed that function. Maybe Mocha wants to use it too. Or maybe not. Shining Finger doesn't seem like the type who would know about that sort of function.
だから IBN5100 ってすっごくレアな PC なの。
Right now I'm starting to suspect everyone being a spy, goddammit. Because I think she is, I think Shining Finger is, I don't think Ferris is. I think she's a sweet little girl who just acts a little cat-like sometimes, which ain't nothing wrong with that, right? Ain't nothing wrong. Kurisu, no, she's fine. She's just a girl genius. Mayuri, she's too simple for that. Lukaku, he'd explode in complete, tension and nervousness if someone confronted him at all. So, and start crying. So that's fine, I don't worry about him. And so that's the two people I suspect right now. Very suspicious. At least in my mind. While talking, Suzuha keeps dropping her glance to the metal pin in her hand. She rolls it around with her fingers. I guess that's a habit of hers. So IBM 5100s are super rare. Maybe if I get one I could sell it for a high price. That could be a good way to raise research funds. But first I have to deal with CERN. Oh god. Life in 2036 is very different from what it is today. Most people live on farms, growing their own food. All forms of commerce and communication are restricted. There's no travel, no internet, no railroad even. Most people never see another town, let alone a city. Science continues to advance, of course, but the vast majority of people do not benefit from the progress. Technology belongs to only those chosen by CERN and the Committee of 300. It's very peaceful, but at least on the surface there's none of the conflict you see in this era. There's no war. How is that possible? How did CERN solve the situation in the Middle East? What if you go against world peace? Sounds like to me CERN's doing humanity a favor. This Teeter guy stole a time machine from CERN, didn't he? He's the bad guy here. Die in a fire, terrorist scum. The world in 2036 is governed by CERN. All nations, even America, have disbanded their armies. To put it simply, civilization has returned to an 18th century level of technology and exists under a communist system of government. Except now that system works flawlessly. Right now you should be asking yourselves how that is possible. How does a system of government that collapsed in the 20th century exist without any discontent? The answer to that question is the reason I am here. Yes, I am a terrorist. There are others like me who fight against CERN. We think of ourselves as the resistance, but there is no denying that our actions are a kind of terrorism. Anyway, I want to hear more about the many worlds interpretation. She said it was proven by 2036. How? I knew you were a terrorist. How many of you murdered it? What if my kids are among them? Maybe I really should kill your father, protect the future. Stop beating around the bush and give us answers. You're one of those old men who participated in the student riots, aren't you? Filled your head with a bunch of bullshit and now you can't tell fact from fiction, am I right? Delicious nationalist tears, lol. CERN probably figured it out. They've got a time machine to experiment with, right? That would make you no better than Teeter. If you're willing to face the consequences, then go right ahead. Teeter to question. Did World War III take place as scheduled? Why did you come to this particular time? Did you find an IBM 5100? Is John Teeter plugging for the commies? I thought that went out of style years ago. I thought Teeter was crazy, but this Halloween guy is even crazier. Get a room, guys, lol. World War III? Lamau. Isn't there something to be an IB 5100 Akiba? As I've already explained, my goal in this time is to change the future. I'm posting here to warn you what's going to happen. Perhaps convergence will render my efforts meaningless. But even if one person pays attention, that's enough. World War III? Is that something I said on a different world line? I would like to talk to you in private. Please email me when you have time. Of course, if anyone else like to email me, feel free. Serious inquiries only, please. All I've been getting is hate mail. Here's my address once more. John Teeter at egweb.ne.japan. 20 hours have passed since Daro started hacking. Night gives way to a refreshing summer morning. I glance at Daro while browsing ad channel on my phone. He's fidgeting even more, now his legs are like pistons. His knees are moving up and down in harmony with the rat-a-tat of his keyboard. Daro hasn't slept in about 40 hours, but he still won't get off the computer. I was going to ask him if he'd like to take a break, but his entire body is exuding an aura that says don't talk to me. P.S. His legs is exactly what I do after I've been recording for like over 3 hours. Because I start to get like really pent up. Because, just sitting and talking for 3 hours is actually kind of rough sometimes. I curl up a bit and return to my phone. My discussions with John Teeter just weren't making any sense. Not even Teeter himself seems to know about the Teeter from 10 years ago. It's hard to imagine that everyone on that channel is conspiring against me. But how else can I explain it? Out of options, I decided to email Teeter directly just as he told me to. He audaciously exposed his own address on that channel. I guess that's his way of saying bring it on. In my email, I questioned the differences between his posts now and his post 10 years ago. The current Teeter hasn't even acknowledged the latter. I only vaguely remember them, but they basically went like this. The US went into civil war in like 2008, I believe is when he said it went into civil war. Then it was a brief 2015 war, killed like 3 billion people or 1 billion people. In World War 2015, World War III breaks out, many people die. 2036, the world is a nuclear wasteland. He travels from 1975 to obtain a 5100. The IBM 5100 was necessary to revive the technology lost in World War III. That has a hidden function, the ability to read IBM's proprietary computer language, which predates APL and BASIC. But only certain IBM engineers are aware of that function, so that does not appear to be in the manual. 1998, Teeter meets his younger self and his parents in America. What? That would be weird. There was a soldier who volunteered for this mission. He is an American. Furthermore, in 2000, Teeter correctly predicted the outcomes of some future events. The Peruvian coast earthquake in 2001, the election of a new pope, the outbreak of the Iraq War, and China's advances in space, and so forth. Though we only talk vaguely about each one, they all came true. And he also got it wrong, though, on the American Civil War part, which is that's a bold claim. And if you can't get that right, then you're probably talking out your ass. On the other hand, other predictions went unfulfilled. For example, the Y2K bug, Civil War in America, the cancellation of the Beijing Olympics, the inaugurations of America's first female president in 2009, and so forth. Wrong, wrong, and wrong. Popularity known as the Y2K bug. At the turn of the 21st century, there was a concern over the possibility of widespread computer failure when the year turned 2000. In order to save memory space, old operating systems almost always abbreviated years with its final two digits. Hence, when 1999 changed to 2000, the last two digits would change from 99 to 0. If its programming didn't anticipate that change, the computer would erroneously assume that the year was 1900. It was rumored that computers in the military, financial, and government sectors might malfunction and cause worldwide catastrophe. To address these issues, countermeasures were taken in the mid-1990s to manually update every program. As a result, these countermeasures, the year 2000 problem was averted. Yeah, even if there was, I don't think it would have actually led to anything like major. Even if they didn't change anything, I don't think like a bunch of nukes would have went off and killed everyone. Or, you know, everything crashes and everything's gone. But yeah, the Beijing Olympics were fine. Even though there was a lot of pollution issues and smog. And that would have been the reason why it would have been cancelled, but it wasn't. There's more, but let's leave those aside for now. I'm going to ask him why those predictions didn't come true. Different world line, man. Also, most of your predictions from the back, blah, 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 blah. Alright, let's send it now. Now we wait. If he can't answer to my satisfaction, then the current Teeter is an imposter. This is your litmus test, John Teeter. So what are your true colors? Hello? I see you're over the food war. Mayuri comes in. Looks like she's forgiven us for the experimenting on our food. She's back to her usual smiley self. Though to be accurate, it wasn't 2 nights in a row. I took an afternoon nap yesterday. Not important. Mayuri starts fishing around her convenience store bag, and then she takes out a canned meal sold in vending machines. Each can contains a hot broth with various Odin ingredients such as boiled egg, radish, cognac? Konjac? Yeah, I know it's not cognac. Beef and tofu, a popular Akihabara specialty. Or it could be cognac, fuck that, that would be weird. But it's not spelled the right way. I wish. That would be hilarious. The canned Odin is still warm since she gives it to me. When she gives it to me. I open the lid right away and eat the beef. Mayuri and I have been together for a long time, so she knows what I like. And when it comes to canned Odin, beef is where it's at. But I like bananas. Let's see. I consider saying he'll get fat if you only eat frozen foods, but that threat's not very effective against Mayuri, so I hold my tongue. Her high metabolism prevents her from getting fat, no matter how much she eats. What? Oh my god. Oh, Rhinette. Next, she produces a small box with a Rhinette illustration.
ライネットソーセージ。あのね、おまけでウーパのボトルキャップがついてくるんだ。すごく欲しかったから買っちゃった。
So it's not really a present for us, it's for you. She sticks out her tongue with a shy giggle. Something tells me that in a few months' time, this lab will be neck-deep in Oopa goods. There are only a few things right now, like the cushions on the sofa, but the number is sure to grow exponentially.
で、ダル君はどう？
苦戦中だ。少しぐらい休んでもらった方がいいんだがな。何もぶっ通しで何とかしろとは一言も言ってないんだから。
Well, it's easier if you're on a roll just to keep going.
ダル君のスーパーハッカー魂がメラメラバーニングしちゃったんだね。
そこハッカーって言わないように。
An empty Diet Cola bottle comes whistling through the air. Ah, dick. It's my head with a nice thunk.
ピリピリしてる。
That's what happens when you stay up for 40 hours. Mayuri and I evacuate to the corner of the lounge and quietly eat the udon.
でも
Odon?
ハッキングって悪いことなんだよね。マユシーはね、二人にそういうことしてほしくないな。
No, of course not.
ダルのスーパーハッカーじゃなくてハッカーとしての腕前使わなければ宝の持ち腐れだ。
Ferris? Oh, what? This is Amane Suzaha. First email. Thanks for exchanging addresses with me yesterday. I finally made a friend here. Yay, don't worry, I won't email too much. And I might be slow to reply to. I'm kinda new at this email thing. It's okay to laugh at me. When did we exchange addresses? I don't remember this. That wasn't an exchange. You took my address by force. I had no choice but to submit. And that's what I thought. Where will you be living? Where were you living before? That's actually... Haven't you used cell phones much? Where were you living before? I actually do want to know that. Oh, that's a new email. Skyclad 2010. Jesus. That's a shit name. Incidentally, it looks like hackers hijacked CERN's system back in 2008. We found news articles about it online. That means even the inventors of the World Wide Web have holes in their security. With his skills, Daru should have no trouble getting through.
それにこれはセルンの悪事を暴く世界を陰で支配する巨大な闇との戦いなのだ。
悪いことは悪いことだよ。
That's unusual. Mayuri usually just accepts whatever I say. Well, I admit it, we are doing a bad thing. But there's no way we can stop now. I need to change the subject.
マユリオ、薩摩用になるから牛すじをくれないか。
それならうずら卵がいいな。
ふざけるな。俺は牛すじの次にうずら卵が好きなのだ。
Well, too bad.
マユシーもうずら卵好きだもん。
ちくわで手を打ってくれ。
わかったよ。さつま揚げよりはちくわだもんね。
With that said, I skewer the chikawa and put it in Mayuri's can. And I get her beef in return. Subject change complete. Mayuri really eats up conversations about food. It's so easy to manipulate her.
もうすぐなんだよ。SQL のテーブル一覧さえ手に入れればパスワード特定余裕なんだよ。God
damn it, Dara.
僕をなめんな。
I was trying to change the subject. Doro has started talking to himself. Looks like things are falling into place. Doro really is a super hacker. I think this is the first time I've seen him serious. Doro bends himself forward, staring holes into the screen. But all I see on the screen is the same string of numbers and letters.
おほ、 来た来た来た。いいよいいよ。ほら観念して俺の前に全部晒しやがれっつうの。すっぱだかにされてる気分はどうだよ。ひゃっ
He has lost his mind. His eyes are bloodshot and he's starting rambling. Maybe the lack of sleep is getting to him. Dora opens up a new window, types in 12-character strings, and slams the enter key. An error sound rings. He quickly deletes the strings and enters a new one. He keeps repeating the sequence until finally...
おお、来た来た。ID とパス一致。ひょっほ
Hell yeah.
完了だゴラ。死ねえ、なめんな。Yes, yes, yes.
That's awesome. What enthusiasm.
誰やったのか
Sounds like it. The smug bastard turns around with the expression of intense satisfaction. As if he's gone into la petite mort. Condition of mental and physical release, unique to male sage time. Unique to male physiology. Characterized by a feeling of supreme calm and composure, ending the state is almost like becoming an empty shell, also known as hyper sage time or saint time. I've heard of this before. I swear to God I've heard of that before.
Mission complete.
At least he didn't fail.
本当か
Now he's gonna probably pass out.
わあ、すごいね。
Because, you know, he's been up for 40 hours.
わかんないけど
After 20 hours of agony, it's finally over. To show Dora my appreciation, I toss him an unopened udon can. Fuck it.
仕事の後のおでん缶って最高すぎだろ
よくやった。やはりお前は世界最高のスーパーハッカー。
ハッカーな。
あ、ハッカーだ。お前が敵でなくてよかった。それで世界滅亡計画の証拠は見つかったか
No, they aren't.
いや、まだ見てねっつうの。繋がっただけ。ここまで来ればあとは楽だけどな。
Yeah, that's the easy part.
ならば疲れているところ悪いが早速調べてくれ。きっとあるはずなのだ。陰謀の影が。
はいはい、やりますよ。でもその前におでん缶食わせろ。